Hey guys, and welcome to a special episode of Ask Dan. So, different backdrop, as you guys can see, a different location. I'm in South Melbourne this week for the winning um, retreat. So, feeling empowered, learning about a lot of things. But all that aside, Ask Dan today. So, revising your nutrition. I got asked this question last week over the weekend. Somebody sent me an inbox message saying, "Hey, Dan, how often do I need to revise my diet or my nutrition to change it up and to make sure that I'm constantly, I don't get sick of the food, I don't get bored, and that I make sure my nutrition, my calories and my macronutrients are in line with my actual goals? And how often would you recommend I do it? What sort of milestones and when do you recommend that it gets done?" So my answer to that is it all depends, right? So obviously my answer majority of the time is it depends on your goal. But realistically, so the things that tangible results, so 5 kilos. At the 5 kilo mark, 4.5 to 5 kilos, whether it's weight loss or weight gain, tends to give you a good indicator of when you need to revise your nutrition. At the 5 kilo mark, obviously, depending on how much of a reduced amount of calories you're consuming, you basically will hit a plateau at the 5 kilo mark, because once that threshold of, being at such a reduced amount of calories for so long, your body's actually going to hit the actual sweet spot where the amount of calories that you're consuming is now your maintenance calories for the new weight that you're at. So realistically, after that 5 kilo mark, to keep your body in shock, you revise the calories or you change your macronutrients around. So what I mean is, if you're consuming 1,500 calories, for example, a really low amount of calories, and you're working out 3 to 4 days a week to lose, your overall weight loss bucket is 20 kilos. You want to lose over 20 kilos because, you want to get from overweight or obese level 1 or 2 to, normal or average or whatever. So after the 5 kilo mark, you'd still push it for about another week, see what results you get. If you keep getting 6 kilos and, those macronutrients, those calories are working for you, eventually you're going to hit a plateau. At that point, you can either switch your carbohydrate and your protein macronutrient percentages over from 40-30 to 30-40, or vice versa. If you're on a specific per gram amount of macronutrients, so for example, you might be on 130 grams of protein, 240 grams of carbs, or 160 grams of carbs, whatever it may be, or you might be a high fat, whatever your diet is. At that point, it's time to revise macros and your calories at that point. So the tangible point there is the 5 kilo mark, right? Also, another significant time where I tend to revise the calories is when my lifestyle changes. So all of a sudden, I'm a shift, I might be a shift worker, I work in a factory, and, I'm constantly moving on my feet, go. And then all of a sudden I get a desk job. Now, the multiplier from the activity level, the overall formula of calculating calories might be, for example, 1.5, right? Because I'm high activity, strenuous activities, and I'm constantly, on the go. So my body's burning a lot of calories. Now, I stop that role and I get an office job, constantly in my seat, I'm not burning as much calories. Therefore, my nutrition needs to come down with it, right? So obviously, you're hitting about 16,000 steps a day when you're doing the factory work, right? Because you're constantly moving, picking up, lifting stuff. So you're burning a lot of calories, right? So you might be on something as high as 3,700. One of my clients is on 4,600, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, electrician, plus trains an hour at the gym. So he's on like 4,700 calories, and that's still based on his activity levels and his current weight. That's still at a calorie deficit for him. So he's doing a bit of a lean gains program with me where he's losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time, and he's just doing it. He's not deadline driven. He's basically outcome focused, which means every month he's wanting to make sure that his strength goes up. When his strength goes up, we do an assessment. After the assessment, he basically turns around and says, "Okay, look, Dan, I've gained a kilo this month, or I've gained, half kilo, whatever it may be. Strength did go up. Continue on to the next month. Good work. If it didn't, let's revise this, move on, trial it for the next month." So also, so the lifestyle change. So when you go from a fully active, walking around all day, every day, to an office job, that's when your calories and your macronutrient, your nutrition, your overall nutrition needs to be revised. Not necessarily changed, just a revision. You might be used to, having 3 to 4 pieces of fruit a day, 5 to 6 servings of vegetables. might have to tune that down to about 2 pieces of fruit a day, plus, 3 servings of vegetables. Or, might be used to 3 massive meals, including some snacks. Might tune the snacks right down to something a little bit more balanced according to your lifestyle. So it's not a dramatic change. It's not like you're flipping the whole diet. It's a brand new system. It's not at all. It's just revising the calories and the portions associated with it to reflect your lifestyle. So the last point is obvious enough, that when you're no longer getting the results that you were getting before. Now, I say this very lightly. Obviously, when I was 175 kilos, I was losing up to 6 kilos a week at such a calorie deficit. So losing 6 kilos a week, my expectation is that's the baseline, when realistically, that's not the baseline. What the baseline is that, my goal should have been half a kilo to a kilo a week, but instead here I am losing 6 kilos a week, and I can't expect to be losing 6 kilos a week for the next, 2 to 3 months, or until I hit my sub 100 goal. So I might start losing, 6 kilos, then I might go down to like 3 kilos, then I might go down to 2 kilos. Eventually that water weight is going to stop. I'm going to stop getting dramatic results on the scales, and we're going to have to go to something a little bit more genuine. So, half a kilo to a kilo. You're most likely just going to weigh yourself and say, okay, well, hold on. The scale didn't change, but let me just quickly do my measurements. So my 3 motivational ways to measure success: your progress photo, your measurements, and your scale. So progress photo, look at it. Oh, looks like I've trimmed down a little bit. The midsection's a little bit tighter, or, side view and the rear view of myself, the legs are a little bit more defined. So yeah, that's a tick in that box. Scale says no change. If anything, we're either the same weight. It could be 100 grams difference up or down, which is, crossing that box. But let's just do some measurements. If the measurements, the scale, and the progress photo doesn't show any change, it's probably about time to have a look at that, revise that nutrition. One of the most common factors that I see all the time is that eventually what will happen is you've noticed that before you may have been doing, 40 minutes of walking 3 times a week. Now you've cut the walking down, so you're not using that amount of energy that you used to. Therefore, your calories need to come down with it. Or we flip the macronutrients on its head. You're no longer more active. You're a little bit more dormant. So we need to switch the carb to protein to fat macronutrients, balance that out to reflect your lifestyle. This is why the program, guys, is key for anywhere, anytime, and anyone. That is the foundation. The reason why I built it in that way is a strategy for, if I get hit by a bus, I need you guys to be able to continue getting the body of your dreams. And so building it using that as my goal, as my driver, is the reason why anyone can do the program at any time, in any location, with any fitness or nutrition or any health and fitness knowledge, right? So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be advanced. You can be a beginner. You can be an expert. You can be young. You can be older. You can be, novice, senior, whatever it is. The reason for the program and the way I built it was anyone, anywhere, anytime, guys. So obviously rattled on for a little bit too much. So in summary, for those of you who have joined us, what you want to be doing now, let me just quickly bring up the notes. So you want to basically tangible minus 5 kilos or gain 5 kilos if you're a weight gain, lean gain client. So after 5 kilos, revise your nutrition. So first key indicator that you need a nutrition revision. Secondly, when your goals change. Sorry, I didn't mention that. When your goals change. And thirdly, we have a little special guest. Ella, we have a little special guest. Say hello to all the group in my Facebook group. Give him a quick double bicep. Show him flex your muscles. Good boy. Cool work. So lastly, guys, what I want to say is if your goals change, when your lifestyle changes, and more importantly, when your activity levels change. So one of those 3 factors would require a nutrition revision. So hope you guys I hope I've shed some light on the nutritional challenges that you might be seeing. This little legend looks pretty stiff, so give us another wave. Give us a wave to the team out there. Hi, guys. So what are we going to do? Stressless Saturday. I hope to see you guys there. Stick to the plan, guys. For the Sydney folk, all the best with the rain, and I hope you guys haven't flooded the houses. For the Melbourne folk, thanks for the dynamic weather, just like my nutrition and workout plans. So till Saturday, guys, hope you have a good week, and I'll catch you later. Bye.